Hello and welcome to the AROPL Balkans news, daily news. This is the evening news, and this time news will be in English. And peace and blessings and mercy of God be upon you all. Yeah, so we start with analysis. Here we have Moldova in 2026. So it's not from the ex-republic, but it's the Balkans region as some see it, but that's another story. But here's the story for today about Moldova. Security, economy and Russia are the burning concerns again. Moldovan President Maya Sandu speaks, I don't know how to pronounce it, during a press conference at the presidential palace in Chisinau, Moldova on September 29, 2025. It was from them that the government is promising more reforms. It promised more reforms, but progress toward EU membership and all important economic growth depends heavily on an end to Russia's war against Ukraine. So the promises of this lady are one thing, and this war that's happening in Ukraine is another thing. So we all more or less understand that. But let's see what the news says about this. So in 2026, Moldova will face both old and new challenges. The government needs to address past problems and find new ways to help the country grow. The goal is to raise living standards and prove that the European model offers Moldovans more advantages than the ones supported by pro-Russian groups which ties to the Kremlin's Ruski Mir. Translated Russian word, it's actually Ruski Mir, means Russian peace. A project for dominance of the former Soviet space. Whatever you make of that one, but I would just I caught the translation. It's wrong. Mir means peace. It doesn't mean the word. But anyways, so Moldova's main challenge is to implement reforms in key areas to achieve genuine democratic change and modernization. Its leaders must also convince Brussels that these changes are real and lasting, so that Moldova can join the EU by the 2030s. That's 4 years from now. So at year's end, on December 30th, President Maya Sandu stressed the need to continue reforming the judiciary by vetting all magistrates through a special process. Judicial reform is the main focus for Chisinau leaders and is central to Moldova's EU talks with Brussels. So yeah, this is about that. So let's see the other news for today. Let's see what is happening nearby Moldova. So let's see what Balkan Nostradamus said. What says Baba Vanga? And Baba Vanga's vision still flood Albania's media landscape. So Baba Vanga has an impact on how the population of Albania thinks. Obviously, at least this is what the article says. So the Bulgarian mystics' doomy predictions continue to grab headlines in Albania and elsewhere. Even though many seem fabricated and sometimes appear to serve Russian geopolitical narratives, as 2025 moved towards its end, Albania's state-run news agency, the Albanian Telegraphic Agency, asked in a headline published on its homepage, "Will a prophecy by Baba Vanga that could change the world in 2026 become reality?" The prophecy was framed as something that would happen on December 5th, the same time that groups were drawn for the 2026 World Cup in the US, Mexico and Canada. It didn't. In fact, there is no evidence that Baba Vanga, a Bulgarian mystic named Evangelina Pandeva Ushterova, who died in 1996, ever made any written predictions about world-shaking events during her lifetime. Nevertheless, the Albanian media, including publicly owned outlets, regularly published articles about her alleged prophecy and when they might come true. These fantastical visions circulate as clickbait year after year, without any editorial verification, particularly towards the end of the year. The publications that cite Baba Vanga are filled with warnings of catastrophes, miracles and other extraordinary occurrences. In contrast with aliens, the disappearance of the European Union, and the world falling under the rule of Vladimir Putin or coming to an end altogether. Unfortunately, it should be noticed that this kind of stories have become routine in the Albanian media. Quote unquote, said Erlist Sela, an Albanian media and communications researcher. Quote, "It is extremely concerning that the public media outlet, which is supported by taxpayers and does not operate under commercial logic, publishes stories meant to generate clicks that contains no verified facts," Sela added. Even
though the prophecies attributed to Baba Vanga are routinely debunked, Albanian language media continue to reproduce them. The quote prophecy unquote that the European Union will come to an end in 2024 was repeated by the same outlets in 2025 with no reflections. For example, among the media outlets that publish Baba Vanga's prophecies are national television stations such as Top Channel and TV Clan, which usually translate them from the UK's Daily Mail. What do you know? Similar material can also be found in other well-known outlets in the country, such as Euronews, Panorama and Shqiptaria.com. Vangelia Pandeva Gushterova, born in 1911 in Strumica, in what is now North Macedonia, was a blind mystic and healer who achieved renown under Bulgaria's communist regime and had links to Lyudmila Živkova, the daughter of Bulgarian dictator Todor Živkov. In the 1980s, the self-styled mystic seer received visitors that included officials of the Soviet Union. Her meetings were managed by the state, which also charged her visitor a symbolic fee. For the predictions she offered, she received payment from Živkov's regime. She became extremely popular across the Balkans for giving personal spiritual advice, herbal remedies as well as prophecies, attracting thousands of visitors to her home. From the 1960s onward, journalists and television reports helped turn her into regional phenomenon, and to this day many people in this region still regard her as a folk prophet and a quote Nostradamus of the Balkans unquote. However, the predictions attributed to her, including alleged prophecies of global upheavals, remain unverified and often are mythologized. Many are believed to have been fabricated after her death by tabloids and websites seeking readers and clicks. To this day, tabloids and social media circulate predictions for the years to come. Although best known today for geopolitical and apocalyptic predictions, her niece, Kresimira Stoyanova, the most reliable biographical source about her life, has written that in reality she merely offered personal health advice and left behind no prophecies on paper. Most of the predictions attributed to her are believed to be later fabrications. Some academics argue that Baba Vanga's supposed prophecies are even being used to willfully spread misinformation. An academic study, Mediums, Media and Mediated Post-Truth Baba Vanga in the Russian Imagination by Mary Neuberger and Adam Hazel of the University of Texas at Austin suggests that the mystics' fabricated geopolitical visions are being instrumentalized to create pro-Russian narratives. The researchers state that in most cases the proof according to Vanga is useful to Putin's regime, such as claims of the EU's imminent demise and Putin's imminent global dominance. When circulated online, such fabricated stories serve to promote Russian power. Sila argues also that quote, mystical prophecies and apocalyptic narratives which are served to the public as news are often used as instruments for spreading propaganda. Unquote. An Italian-based magazine, Bitter Winter, has noted that Russian media, such as Komsomolskaya Pravda, a pro-government tabloid newspaper, periodically repeats the quote-unquote prophecy of quote-unquote Putin controlling the world, along with others claiming that the West is facing down. Putin's regime may not be behind these stories, but it benefits from them, it argued. So, Bitter Winter, the well-known magazine, is arguing that basically it's benefiting from these stories such as from the media, but as we all know, is some things are sometimes are beneficial to some, sometimes are beneficial to others. So it's I don't know what the point is, but anyways, you know. So Violeta Keta, a fact-checking expert, said that news pieces featuring Baba Vanga, wrapped in mysticism, quote, speculations and falsehood, unquote, serve to make it increasingly difficult for good, gullible readers to distinguish real information from speculation and falsehood. Although the claims attributed to Baba Vanga may seem fanciful, a 2024 study titled The Distribution of Disinformation Narratives by Hostile Actors Against NATO and the EU in the Albanian media found, quote-unquote, found that the mystics' reported prophecies were among the ways through which pro-Putin and anti-EU or anti-NATO narratives reached Albanian readers. Quote, although a non-political figure, Baba Vanga's predictions are often used by conspiratorial and disinformation media to reinforce certain narratives, including those against NATO and the EU, unquote, the study stated. Oh my god,
it's the power of the media stroke again. So we should be careful. But here is even more worrying news from. It's about our nature. It's about nature of things, and it's about our water. So worrying quote unquote loss of pristine rivers in Balkans highlighted by study. Balkan countries are continuing to sacrifice their remaining clean river stretches to development and pollution, a new assessment warns. A new study by the environmental organizations Euronatur and Riverwatch on Balkan rivers shows that some 2,450 kilometers of pristine rivers have been lost in the last 14 years. Rivers in Albania and Bosnia and Herzegovina have seen a sharp decline in the share that were pristine, the report published on Wednesday said. The study shows that the percentage of rivers in Albania that were clean plummeted from 68% in 2012 to just 40% in 2025. Both in absolute terms, the length of nearly natural rivers dropped from 3,812 river kilometers to 2,668 river kilometers in just 7 years. So this is from 2018 to 2025, the study said. In Bosnia and Herzegovina, surviving stretches of rivers that remain pristine fell from 2,170 river kilometers to 904 river kilometers, representing a 23% decrease in high-value ecological stretches from 2012 to 2025. The study, quote, hydromorphological status of Balkan rivers, unquote, authored by Dr. Ulrich Schwarz or Fluvius Vajena and commissioned by Euronatur and Riverwatch, forms part of the Save the Blue Earth of Europe campaign, a campaign that focuses on protecting Balkan rivers. The study assesses the state of 83,824 kilometers of rivers across 11 countries. Quote, hydropower development remains the key driver of degradation. Other major pressures include water abstraction, sediment extraction, and infrastructure construction, unquote. The study highlighted three main factors have been studied regarding the loss of pristine rivers in the Balkans. Fragmentation of the rivers caused by dams and barriers that break the natural river continuum, structural damage caused by artificial reinforcement of river banks and the strengthening of natural meanders, and habitat loss, which causes the degradation or total disconnection of vital floodplain ecosystems. The study notes the signs of hope for the embattled rivers of Albania and Bosnia. Quote, amidst the decline, significant river protections have been achieved. Most notably, the Vjosa in Albania was designated Europe's first wild river national park, successfully blocking nearly 40 planned dams, it noted. The Vjosa River runs for about 272 kilometers through Albania and its other 80 kilometers flow through Greece. Albania declared its section a national park in March 2023. After more than 10 years of campaigning by local and environmental activists and scientists. But 2.5 years after this decision, no serious efforts are being made to protect it from industrial and human intervention. In Bosnia, while high-value ecological stretches have decreased by 23%, a landmark legal victory in 2022 amending the law of electricity in the Federation entity of Bosnia and Herzegovina banned the approval of new small hydropower plants under 10 megawatts, effectively cutting approximately 116 planned projects. In total, 200 kilometers of large rivers and 700 kilometers of small rivers have been preserved across the Balkans, the study found. But that, despite such achievements, the trend is still moving rapidly in the wrong direction. Quote, while hydropower remains a dominant threat, the transition from wild rivers to infrastructure corridors is the result of cumulative human impacts such as hydropower and diversions, extractive industries and infrastructure and regulation, unquote, it concluded. So whatever you make of that, it's one of these worrying environmental news. So let's head for the main news of today. So the main news and the news of the hour is that Albania is to join Trump peace board. Other Balkan countries are silent. So while Albania's Edi Rama welcomed an invitation to join Donald Trump's proposed board of peace, Croatia, Slovenia, Romania and Greece merely confirmed that they had received invitations. So basically, Albania's Prime Minister Edi Rama said on Tuesday that he had accepted US President Donald Trump's invitation to join the Board of Peace, sent also to a couple of dozen other countries. In a letter sent to Trump and published on X, it was both a privilege and an honor to express my full readiness to contribute to this important endeavor and to participate fully in a joint effort that seeks to translate vision into action, unquote, Rama said. He added on X that, quote, this commitment will soon be forwarded to the Albanian parliament for approval, unquote. Trump originally proposed the creation of the board when he announced his plan to end the war in Gaza last September, but has since expanded the initiative to cover various conflicts around the globe. A draft charter sent by the US to approximately 60 countries requires members to pay $1 billion each to extend their membership beyond 3 years, according to a document seen by Reuters. Besides Albania, other Balkan countries confirmed that they got the invitations but have not yet announced their decisions. The Croatian government told HINA news agency that it will, quote, consider, unquote, the offer. As media previously reported, Romania on Sunday confirmed getting an invite. Presidential advisor Marius Lazurka said that the Romanian authorities are assessing the proposal. Quote, an analysis group has been set up to examine this initiative. And once we have more details, we will provide an appropriate response, unquote, Lazurka said. Greek Foreign Minister Georgos Geropolitis said on Sunday that Athens is, quote, reviving all the documents very closely, unquote. Slovenia also confirmed that it had received an invite, as the last news, Prime Minister said that it's not a time yet for it. So in Central Europe, Hungary has already accepted the invitation. So Poland's President Karol Nawrocki has also received an invitation, but his chief foreign policy advisor noted that the Board of Peace reportedly includes, quote, individuals or politicians with whom the Polish president has absolutely nothing in common, unquote, adding that, quote, Vladimir Putin is certainly one such politician, unquote. Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan will soon decide whether to join the Board of Peace after having received an invitation, Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan said on Tuesday. Reuters previously reported that some EU governments are reluctant to join the initiative out of concern that it could undermine the work of the United Nations. The Serbian presidency has not confirmed whether Serbia has been invited, and officials in Kosovo have also not commented on the matter. Other foreign leaders have also not yet said whether they will accept. China announced earlier on Tuesday that it had received an invitation, but did not indicate whether it would accept it. France intends to decline the invitation at this stage, a source close to President Emmanuel Macron said on Monday, according to media reports. So there you have it for this evening. I hope we have been clear and to the point. So yeah, thank you for following AROPL Balkans news, and hope to see you on a daily basis, God willing. Otherwise, we will see us to the other channels. So yeah, peace be upon you and have a nice evening.